Hey, everybody. Welcome to this season ending for the Eagles on Meek's Bottom Line. It's been a great season, but we unfortunately lost to Kansas City in our Super Bowl, 38-35. But I'm feeling pretty good. No, it's a disappointing loss, but we had a great season. And you know what? I think we're going to play them next year. That's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling.
You think we're gonna play in the Super Bowl next year? We're gonna
I
play
think we're
Kansas
going to play
City.
Kansas City next year.
Oh, so you think Kansas City going back?
Yeah,
A rematch, okay.
yeah. That's and you know what? Actually, my predictions are under here. And Chuck said 30-14. Adrian was 24-10. Rocky 23-14.
Guess who was the closest?
Kevin said 24-17. And Tamika said 35. No, I said 42-35. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knew something.
Well, I want to say that first of all, it was a great game. A lot of Super Bowls are duds, and it was a great game. It was a historic game, two black quarterbacks.
Yep.
And
One
as
and a
far
half.
as the Eagles go, they exceeded all my expectations for the season. Jalen shut up all the naysayers and doubters.
Mm-hmm.
And for the game itself, I always say you got to play a clean game. Okay. We had one turnover, they had none. That was the game. Also, special teams failed us.
As
Their punt returner had the longest punt return in Super Bowl history,
True.
and our defense didn't show up.
Not at all.
Game, set, match. But I'm proud of Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of the team. You win as a team, you lose as a team, and they made Philly proud.
Yeah.
Key?
It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as bad as those losses we all experienced in our history, in our past, right? Because we got one out of the way, right? So this is a little different. I think if anybody deserved to lose this one, it wasn't the players necessarily. It was not us, because we like the talented 10th. But I'm saying some of our fans that I've seen were just a little too, it wasn't confidence. It was arrogance and a lot of cockiness, which ain't really us. We're passionate and, we're very confident. But I saw some people that were just going overboard. I mean, it was like talking to Pats fans or something like that. But yeah, I gotta agree, bro, man. It was really the defense letting us down in the second half, man. And good riddance, Gannon. He got hired by the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad we didn't let him get on the plane back home.
Okay. How about that?
Yep.
No more bend, don't break.
Right.
Not only is Jonathan Gannon leaving to Arizona, Shane Steichen is going to be the head coach of the Colts. So we're rebuilding already. Adrian?
I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm maybe more upset than the years past, because it was right there in our hands and we let it slip away.
Yeah.
And it's like Chuck said, it's costly mistakes, costly mistakes. We could have gone into halftime up 2 points. You know what I mean? We could have had a big distance, and we turned the ball over. I don't know if it was arrogance or cockiness, or if they just made us believe. You know what I mean? They were so good and they were so dominant that we bought into it. We were like, okay. I was still nervous, like I always was, but I was like, they have done some amazing things these last 2 games. They held both teams to 7 points. This is it. And it's the big letdown. But they say the higher you are, the harder you fall. So,
Rocky?
Yeah, and sentiments to Coach Reed, like his whole coaching staff. I mean, they just did like a flat out amazing job the second half, and you clearly see that our coaches were out coached. I mean, still come up 3 points in a loss against these guys. I mean, we can point out all these different things that happen, but I think that's where the game's really won at. Right there with the checks and balances. With that coaching staff. So, I mean, a good thing, I guess, in hindsight. I mean, I like to think, at least, to say that we still like in the mix, at least competitive. I mean, we got draft picks, we got not only this year but the following year, and we have actually great, well, not so great, but we got good young talent. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for the Eagles, though. Sky's the limit.
Pun intended, huh?
Honey, what you thought?
Oh, that was no pun intended.
I know,
Said the
right?
sky's the limit for the Eagles.
Yeah. What you thoughts, baby?
Where should I start? Well, of course, I agree with everybody. Fantastic season. All the stuff that y'all said, I agree to, but I'm gonna do what nobody else did, and that's complain about the calls, the field, the bookies.
Yeah.
I mean, because all around, I believe the performances was exactly what the game showed, like very equal and very competitive. And I believe that it was to me, outside of the mistakes, the very few small mistakes, the calls made a difference. And I believe it really came down to half of the world betting on the Eagles, and they couldn't cover that tab. So they put the call in to make that call. And that's just my belief. And, other than that, I really have no complaints about the game. The game was great.
Exciting.
Game. Very exciting, very competitive, a shootout, all that. Now, here's another thing. You can't tell me at halftime they didn't get him they didn't call Amazon and have him an ankle shipped in.
I thought they shot him with the cocaine.
Whatever y'all want to call it, and nobody else cared to say nothing about it, but you can't tell me they didn't do something to that boy.
Yeah.
For him to come out, and after his so-called, his so-called injury, and do and run the fastest and furthest he ran.
Yes.
After going into the, he went in at halftime like in excruciating pain. You couldn't tell me that he was going to come out and perform better than he did the previous half. So, that's just me and my conspiracy theory type mind I have. And
he's talking about
outside of that, me, I'm already at the Super Bowl next year.
Well, I want to piggyback on one of the things you said. Arizona should never host another Super Bowl. Okay, there's no way you got to feel
That was crazy.
in the sunshine and the players are slipping around like they playing in Buffalo. That to me is totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. Now, as far as the game, that was a game, the ebb and flows where whoever had the ball last, you had two hot quarterbacks, and whoever had the ball last was going to win.
Now, dig this. With that being said, that's why they did not allow that play to take place, because they would have had to most likely go for it, which they wouldn't have. They would have probably kicked the field goal. And who would have had the ball last?
We would have.
So they couldn't allow that to happen. So, a lot of everything that, you said and probably that everybody else said is true. But believe me, that bread had a lot to do with it.
The fix was in.
Well, it was crazy with the Bradbury holding call, man. Like, he does that all the time. He puts his hand on your hip. He ain't tugging. And they let him do that all the other 3 quarters.
Right.
But it wasn't a catchable ball.
It wasn't.
That's what I was gonna say. Those are the things that matter to me. That outside of that, they've done it the whole game. They allowed it the whole game and other games.
Right.
And for it to be that point in the game.
Yeah. And so for those of us that have played, when the referee doesn't call those little things like that, you're like, oh, they're letting us play today.
Right. And they said as much. They said as much that they would let them play. And the other thing was, he didn't change the receiver's direction.
None of that.
Didn't knock him off his route.
He touched his hip.
No harm, no foul.
Touched his hip, ball was overthrown. So again, that's another reason that makes me believe that it was then or never. Like, we got to get there, because there was other calls too. But
it was the offsides call in the first half. It's like he didn't move.
That was
Even
the most crucial.
on Ike Sumalo because and then became a 3rd and 6, which was a bad offensive play call to have Jalen do a QB scramble on 3 and 6.
Yeah, that.
Mhm.
What you
Yeah.
doing, man? And then he fumbled on that play.
then he
You know?
fumbled.
And then when you say stuff like that, that goes to show. I mean, that goes to what y'all said as far as us being out coached. We were just,
We were.
out coached. We had young rookie coaches. I mean,
That's
again,
right.
you can't even really blame that because
The offense, I don't think the offense did good to me. They put the points up. We just had to hold. We had to hold somewhere.
It was
We
just
had
that
to
fumble.
hold them somewhere, and we didn't.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
fumble.
We had
That
to
was
stop
the
them,
thing.
and we
Yeah,
didn't.
but when your defensive coach still plays a zone the second half and you got a 10-point lead, I mean, there's no
Well, no, he
adjustment.
played man. He played man.
Well-
The problem with him is he had those guys 8 yards off of the receivers.
Well, he
You know,
played
they were running
man early on
crisscrosses.
early downs. He played man early downs the second half, but the majority of the second half it still was a lot of zoning. It's still regardless, like you have to make some major adjustments because they did. Like that was obvious.
He plays a lot of cover 4 zone, but I noticed that the Chiefs were running a lot of different formations pre-snap, and so when they were doing that, like they were motioning, we had a guy traveling with them, right? So that's how you know we're in man. And then they were doing a lot of rub routes, right? Andy Reid is a master of the rub route, basically a pick and roll.
Yeah.
And dudes are getting wide open on those crisscross slants. They had nothing for it.
Wide open.
I'm telling you, it's a blessing that Johnson Gannon is gone. He has not beaten any top quarterbacks. I'm just being honest. Mahomes is the best we faced. And if you look at the list of who we've beaten this year, and you look at the quarterbacks, best one on there is Aaron Rodgers, and he's about to be taken out the pasture.
Well, you know what? We didn't stop the rush at all. At all
3 points.
The 2 running backs and Mahomes collectively, they averaged over 6 yards a carry.
And this defense, is ranked 16th in stopping the run.
Our linebackers were making contact with their rushers 5 yards at least down the field. And that's just you letting them get momentum. And the linebackers were out of place because I agree with you. They were so worried about the pass that they totally ignored the run, and they ran
stopped
down
Kelsey,
throats.
but
That's what we're supposed to do is run it down people's throats, not the other way around.
But we're the 16th ranked team in stopping the run. So when you look at our defensive ranking a lot, it's just really off of the pass rush, right? And what we didn't take note of is that the Chiefs are the number 1 offensive pass blocking team.
Right.
We're the number 1 run blocking team on that O-line, right? So when you look at that Chiefs team, they were the best offensive line setup against this big 4 of the pass rush. Jonathan Gannon only likes to send 4 guys. He rarely blitzes, and when he does it at the most inopportune times. And he's not creative. He's just have his guys 8 yards off the receivers. They in zones half the time. We send 4 dudes, and then when you get guys that can block your 4 guys, what you gonna do? He does nothing.
Well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise because we got the personnel on defense, although we have 18 free agents overall on the team. So they're gonna have to sit down really and pay some people and see who they want to keep.
We're gonna see.
You get a good DC in here, a good DC that's willing to utilize the talent in a more imaginative way. It may be an upgrade.
Who y'all want to keep though? Who's the name the 3? Because we can't really afford to keep most of these guys, right? So name the 2 people, because I think all we can probably extend is 2 people, honestly, with a respectable deal.
I'm gonna keep Brandon Graham.
Well, he's gonna be cheap. Brandon Graham will be
team friendly.
He's cheap.
Him and Fletcher Cox will be team friendly, no doubt.
Reddick is at the top of my list.
I'm ready for Cox to go.
He's under contract.
Yeah, he's already under contract. You keep Gardner. You keep Gardner, the safety. You'll keep him.
My man.
Yeah, you keep him.
Bradbury is up. Yeah. Bradbury can walk away.
Yeah.
There's rumors that he wants to go back to the Giants.
Yeah, he's already said, but he already said too he wants money. He said that the day that he wants money. He made that very clear. He said he doesn't want to be underpaid.
Sumalo's gone.
Huh? Yeah, Sumalo's gone too. Yeah, but that's okay because the offensive line, they got plugins for them. So that's okay. I'm not really that.
They're gonna have to make a decision on Miles Sanders. He's
gone. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm out.
You're not a fan anyway, are you, kid?
No, I'm not a fan. I'm telling you, he's Diet
He only
Coke.
had
Man.
16
And I know he
yards.
had 1,200 yards. He
Yeah.
had 1,200 yards, but
They
look,
started giving the ball to Gainwell now.
well,
Right.
it's not about Gainwell either, because Gainwell's good, but I mean, you notice he can't break tackles, right?
He's okay.
He's got a heart. He can catch the ball, right? But like, if a defender gets an arm on him, he will go down, right? You need to draft. You got to draft a bull in this draft. And I'm looking at Bijan Robinson from Texas. We're in prime position to get somebody like him.
I
Jameer
just don't
Gibbs.
know when they're going to spend a first-round pick on him, though, because he's really good, though.
But here's the thing: it's a 5-year deal, basically, with rookie money, because it's a 5th-year option on rookies. Or
Yeah.
but there's a lot of good running backs. You don't have to go the first round. I'd rather go corner with pick number 10, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
Christian Gonzalez is what I'm looking at. Christian Gonzalez. I'm not really a big fan of Joey Porter Jr., but Christian Gonzalez, he can play zone.
I like Porter Jr. versus him, though, because of the conference, because he's played in big games, and you got to really look at that.
But he can't play zone. He's all press man. He's only a press man cover. You're going to have to teach him zone concepts. I'm not saying he can't do it, because
he's a dog, though. He's a dog.
You watch Christian Gonzalez? I know he's in Oregon, but boy, he's
good too. But
ready.
It's just that conference, though.
Well, at least we'll have some.
Yeah, with Sauce Gardner, right? Who'd he play, right? He was Cincinnati. Yeah,
but but he's a special talent, though. Like, he's been that way since high school.
So
we got to get somebody in the special teams. Who you going to work? Because Covey had a little light, and then it was shut.
He had a little nice run, though, didn't he?
He had a little run. It was the run by Kadarius Toney on Kansas City where our defense didn't stop him. And I think
special teams didn't cover. So
and that field was slippery too.
Well, back to all the way down 65 yards. He slipped all the way down.
Yeah, because you give Mahomes first, they possibly could have won that game, but you give Mahomes a short field, it's over. And they gave him a short field at the end.
And Pacheco whooped us, man. Pacheco, that young man runs with so much violence.
Yeah, 76 yards.
He runs.
Yeah, everybody was worried about Kelsey. I wasn't. I saw Pacheco the game before.
Yeah. We talked about him on this show.
But see, that's coaching strategy, though, too, because Pacheco, because with them linebackers, like our linebackers are good in coverage. That's why you bring Nakobe Dean here. So Nakobe Dean, he's there for the run, but he doesn't. I guess apparently they don't trust him to be in a big game like that.
He's better in coverage, actually. Yeah, I mean, Kazir White's got to go. I mean, I would keep TJ Edwards, though. I would definitely resign.
I would definitely keep TJ, though. But see, that's the skill. That's the skill in the coaching, like doing their homework. Like,
yes, sir.
Linebackers can't stop the run like that.
Well, they're going to have to. They're definitely going to have to plug in the gaps and replace the people that we need, because next year our schedule is going to be much more difficult because we went to the Super Bowl. Right. So they're going to have to. They have to do be on top of their game with the replacements and where they put people, because they're coming for us at this point.
Yeah, going back to coaching again, Kelsey was their primary target, and Gannon did nothing. Like, you got to take.
He ran away with it in the first half
and let the other guys beat you.
Definitely the first quarter.
Just let him just run amok, and that's the game plan guy. You're supposed to have game plan against Kelsey.
You have Darius Slade travel with Travis Kelsey, and then you take Maddox and put him on the outside, one of these bum receivers. I mean, something as simple as that is
very simple. Very simple.
But the problem is, once you plug Kelsey, then you had the run game. You weren't stopping the run game. If you abandon, if you let Kelsey go, he gonna hit Kelsey.
We couldn't stop the run game.
Mahomes is just too good.
I mean, the Redskins killed our running defense. We really weren't strong there to begin with.
We were exposed. Right. The
Redskins exposed.
Excuse me. The Commanders.
The Commanders, excuse me.
Commanders.
Yeah, they exposed us. And when you have a running back like Pacheco that runs with so much violence and tackle breaking ability, it's a problem for us. And I'm telling you, this is the kind of running back we need on this team. He was drafted in the 7th round out of Rutgers. Okay.
Yeah, out of Rutgers.
There's talent in this draft in the running back lane. I mean, and we need to invest in it. Miles Sanders, thank you for your service, brother. But you benefited from this O-line and this wonderful young man at quarterback. This is why you got 1,200 yards. He's not going to be that effective anywhere else. That's just my point. That's my opinion on him.
Keep Goddard.
Oh, he's not going nowhere.
Goddard's a keeper. Oh yeah, he's a
Goddard is a keeper.
How long do we have Brown
One of
for?
the best wide receivers in the game. I mean, the O-line, I think Kelsey's under contract, so it's up to him if he wants to.
Brown is still on his rookie contract. You ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, you can worry about that. You got Dickinson still on his rookie contract. So I think the O-line's intact, and then you can take Juergens, and he's been getting some rotations in at guard. He may take in for Isaac Sumalo, but
Well, Dominic Sue, you think he's done?
yeah, he's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a rental. He was a rental. Late
Yeah, he
season
was a rental. Him
This was his opportunity to get a ring.
So
But it's up to right now, though. It's up to the young bull, Jordan Davis. And I've been disappointed with him. Okay, I know he had a little injury, but man, this was a disappointing rookie season, yo. You picked 13th overall in the first round. Like you gotta put a stamp on it and make a statement, man. And now's his time to get better.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's no more disappointed than the Kobe Dean not getting on the field. Only special teams, like, oh man, that hurt.
That's because we signed Kazir White here. So I mean, he really didn't have an opportunity unless Kazir White were to get hurt or something. But White is gone. The Kobe Dean's going to be starting next year. You can bet on that.
Well, let the chess game begin.
There you go.
I think we're really just looking forward to the next season. And in my opinion, I felt like now what I respect about Adrian is that when she knows a team is going to, it doesn't matter if it's the Eagles or, because we are home team fans, she can say, I don't think they're going to win. I wasn't going to say that with the Super Bowl because in my heart,
I didn't say that either. For the record, I didn't.
No.
For the record, I didn't.
She'd be worried.
My heart said Eagles, and I was 100%. I texted.
Oh, she after the fact.
I was
closet.
Nervous.
I was worried, man.
I love football, and the thing about me and Kevin is that I watch a lot of games. I don't just watch the Eagles. Disinterest comes because we're not playing, but Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City are one of those teams. Like I watched Tom Brady, and I know
Patrick is the man. Patrick is the man. Take that away from
felt like the number one team we lost to the number one team. We are definitely the number 2 team, and hope to be the number 1 team next year. But this year,
I ain't letting that go.
I think we were the number 1 team.
There you go. Listen, with all that being said,
I said that was my opinion.
All right, but with all that coaching and all that,
I didn't say anything about coaching.
It came down to
we could have won that game.
He was not out.
We could have, and I
won that game.
I wanted.
We got to get a stop somewhere, right?
We lost.
What's the call? Was it the defense?
Stop, a turnover, a sack, something.
We beat ourselves.
It came down to that call. All that other stuff that we said and all that, the running, the defense, this and that, it was 35-35. Yep. So all of that, whatever.
We got to get a stop.
It came down to the call, in which we got to stop, but the damn call,
the penalty,
stop,
and that's the way.
So that's what it came down to.
All he did was touch somebody. That's all he did.
Cookie crumbled. The cookie crumble didn't crumble in our
coaching
favor.
and performance and all that stuff came down to 35-35. That call made the difference.
Okay. Well, I'm with.
Do you think he should have gone for it on that 4th and 2? I think he should have gone for it on that 4th and 2.
I would have.
I would have never given Mahomes the ball back, man.
Never.
I agree. You can't give him. He's proved it time and time again. He's the comeback kid.
It's like punting Tom Brady or something, man. Don't do that.
I know.
Don't give him the ball.
I would rather have punted to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and just for knowledge, Steichen is replacing Frank Reich, who was 40 and 33, and is 4 years with Indianapolis, who was with us when we won our Super Bowl.
Boo.
Frank
Wright got a job already.
How did Saturday go?
Well, he was fired in November.
Right, and Saturday came in.
Privilege.
You already know.
Well, listen, those two, our offensive and defensive coaches got a job, and one getting a head coach, and Deuce can't get a head coach job anywhere.
Ooh.
You already know.
And so many others.
That's another.
And so many others.
That's another
Flores,
topic.
I think they made him a coordinator too somewhere. Flores didn't get a head coaching job, did he?
Nope.
No.
There's only two black head coaches now. You've got D'Amico Ryans and Mike Tomlin, right?
Right. And Steve Wilkes should have got the Panthers job. I mean, what does the brother have to do? I mean,
He
come
needs
on.
to go to college because the NFL shows this man no love, and it's just blatant.
Lovie Smith get fired?
Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah, well, the Arizona Cardinals had him, and they fired him in 1 year. They didn't give him a chance to build a program.
Well, I will say one good thing that happened with the D'Amico Ryans hire is the Texans have a history of hiring African American coaches, but they give them 1 or 2 year contracts. So D'Amico got a 6-year contract, so he'll be there to build his program, or they'll have to pay him a lot of money to get rid of him.
They're gonna pay him a lot of money to get rid of him. He ain't gonna be there for 6 years.
There you go.
No way.
Maybe they'll get better. Look, maybe they'll get better. You know, I mean, they got a coach.
They ain't gonna keep him for 6 years.
Well, he's going to draft his own quarterback at least. You know that. He's going to get his own quarterback because they got like the number 2 pick. They're going to get a franchise quarterback, and they'll ride with him for 3. Then they'll get tired of it.
Well, that's more than the other guys got.
Yeah. He gonna get that Tyrone Willingham treatment.
Yeah. How about that?
They didn't get rid of Tomlin yet? I'm surprised.
No, because they created the Rooney Rule, and you gotta stand by that.
Yeah.
And he's never had a losing season. You know, you gotta give Tomlin his due.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have one this year. They wind up.
But they didn't. They pulled it out.
They had a winning season. They didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
That's a losing season to me.
But they look like they were
If
worse.
you don't make the playoffs, isn't that a losing season?
No,
Well,
it
you're
was
above
500. It was a 500
500
season.
usually.
Oh,
No.
I guess we're not used to mediocrity, I guess.
No, but the fact that he's had stability all these years, and the Rooneys do practice what they preach, but it doesn't seem like the rest of the NFL is on board with it.
Yeah, they need to do something to incentivize teams that actually hire minority coaches and stick with it, rather than just making it a quota, you know?
Right.
Football.
Affirmative action for football.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No, yeah.
The 22-23 season is over, and we look forward to
Sixers now.
yeah, next season.
We ready.
Go
Hey,
Eagles.
we got the draft too now.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, when is that, Kate?
It'll be the weekend of April 28th in Kansas City.
Oh wow.
Ugh!
So it's going to be an interesting off season.
We have 10 minutes left, so let's get to the Sixers. April, what day did you say?
28.
April draft, April 28th. All right, Sixers. Thank you, Adrian. Is that Thibault? Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
yeah.
Hey, Sarah.
I know.
Yeah,
4 threes. Yeah, 4 threes.
Yeah, like 4 3-pointers the
So
other night.
Thibault was gone during COVID. He was done. When he made them change their rotation to start the playoffs, then they offered him the money, they offered him the extension, and he turned it down. And his offensive game didn't grow enough to overcome the great defense. So he was already a dead man walking.
Well, he wanted to go, though.
And by getting rid of him, they got under the luxury tax. So there's a whole lot of things in play there. And I'm liking the guy. I'm liking the guy they picked up.
I don't see it as a negative.
He's long. I was down a game last night. He's long. He's athletic. He can shoot. He's good in the mid range.
Good defender.
Rebounding. He can block shots. And I hate to say it, but Michael Jordan was one of the greatest players to ever do it. But he's not a good executive, and his loss is our gain.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me bring you up to speed. So from last Wednesday, we lost to the Celtics, 106-99. And they didn't play a few of their starters. So
Right, we lost
to that. Friday, we beat the Knicks at home, 119-108. Tyrese Maxey provided a huge boost off the bench, scoring 27 points to help us rally from a 13-point deficit. Saturday, we beat Brooklyn, 101-98.
Great game.
Traded. Embiid had 37 points, 13 rebounds. Harden 29 points in his first game back in Brooklyn since being traded a year ago. How ironic that they no longer have their big three, and that game was pretty good.
And Harden's got the last laugh. They
Yeah,
thought he
right.
was the
Almost.
malcontent getting out of Brooklyn, but evidently he saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah. And then we could have gone into overtime. Thank goodness we didn't, because then when his 3-pointer didn't make the clock. So that game ended, and then we signed DeJuan Dedmon for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 7-footer.
10-year vet, averaging 5.7 points, 3.6 rebounds from Miami. And last night we beat the Rockets 123 to 104. Yes, we should have. Yeah, we should have. Harden scored 29 with his former team. Maxey scored 26 off the bench, and Embiid 23 in 31 minutes. So Sixers have won 3 in a row and improved to 22-8 at home.
4th overall in the NBA. So
and the Celtics and Bucks are playing now. Check it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
on now.
Sixers, and then from there, tomorrow we play Cleveland, and then it's the All-Star break. Team Giannis versus Team LeBron, and then their next game will be next Thursday, the 23rd, versus the Memphis Grizzlies at home, and then that Saturday we play the Celtics at home. So busy, but great games. The Sixers are really doing it. Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench,
ready for the.
Saw that youth is really good, and he's got his own little lineup now.
I got my expectations real low after my heart been broken 3 times. You know what I mean? The Union, the Phillies, the Eagles. Now, like I got my expectations.
So you do for a win, Key.
I hope so. I hope so, man. Just get me to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
Just get me there. Get out that second round for once.
Right.
And B stay healthy, we get there.
That's the key. That's the key.
That is the key.
Hold on. PJ Tucker gets 7 points. We'll definitely get there.
Listen,
average 7 points.
I don't know how he made it past the deadline. I don't know how.
Nobody want him.
Yeah, I guess that's how.
He's been more active, and now I don't see Tobias. He's disappeared again. He has little brief lights, but
it'd be like a Tobias sighting. Like,
well, you got flexibility in that lineup, so that's one good thing. And I noticed lately Doc's been toying with the 3-guard lineup with Maxey, Harden, and Melton out there at the same time with 2 big, with Embiid and another big. So Doc's got some toys in the toolbox, so we're gonna see what he does with them.
Yeah, he's been trying that young lineup that Mickey like with the with Reed and Maxey.
No, I didn't say Reed. I like Melton. Melton, Shake, Niang, Maxey, and you got to find somebody for center.
Well, Dedmon is going to give them size when Embiid's out. And he was here before. He was part of the process. So he's been here.
Dedmon was here before, wasn't he?
And he'll give them size.
Mm-hmm.
Dedmon was here before, right?
Yeah, he was here under Brett Brown when they were losing all those games. That was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a 10-year vet.
but he does give you size and he's a shot blocker and he shoots the occasional 3. So I will plug him in and see what he's got left. He's 33 years old now. I'll plug him in and see what he's got.
He stinks.
Hey, Noop, you see what the guy who we don't name did? He blew up the whole team. Everybody left.
Oh, well, it's his team now, Adrian. He wanted his own team, so he's got his own team. But really, it's Spencer Dinwiddie's team.
Yeah, because I was going to say he's way
team before the big 3.
He don't even start.
Spencer Dinwiddie's team now, so
he don't even start.
Man, the Brooklyn Nets are a better team now.
They were booing him.
He don't
at
even
home.
Oh, yeah, they were booing him in his home game. They were booing him.
It was in Dallas.
No. Simmons was booed in New York.
Yes.
Oh, who was booed in New York?
Ben Simmons.
Oh, great.
25.
Okay.
We don't say his name. That number 25.
Oh, yeah, 25.
Well, like I said,
they have buyer's remorse now.
The startling statistic for him is, and I've never heard this statistic before, the man has more fouls than shot attempts. That's pretty hard to do. That's almost impossible to do.
Great trade.
Well, he
Great.
got to be good at something.
Well, nobody wants that $170 million that he's owed. So
Yeah, he's got like 3 more years.
yeah, nobody's
He
gonna
has
take
a
that
Nobody
nice
wants to trade
contract.
for that now.
I'm starting to feel bad for him.
He need to start
Oh.
playing with a mask on. Yo, he should start playing with a mask on and a gun in his mouth, 'cause he wild out in the street.
How many years ago when he
The mask
thought
is
that the
good.
Sixers were his team, that he was the equal to Joel Embiid?
Oh, that was just
What,
like,
like three short years ago?
That was like
That
the
just
COVID
shows you
year.
how delusional he was.
Tw-
He's an all-star.
2020.
He's not even starting.
He's an all-star. A
He
former.
loves the rewards that come with being a star.
But he doesn't want to
Money.
work for.
But he doesn't love the game of
No.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't love
Generation
the
Well,
game.
he really doesn't love it now. I mean, it's
it's
not like
it's a nightmare for him,
He's
probably.
been
Nightmare.
babied his whole life. His mom has cleaned his butt up, wiped his booty ever since he was a kid, all the way to grown man years. And he has his brother doing the same thing. He's been coddled, man. And I mean, I knew this a long time ago. And I'm just so glad that Daryl Morey made this.
he's not our problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Not our
Not our
problem.
problem.
And we came up major. Look at Harden balling like this,
I
man.
know, right?
The assist numbers. He's not turning the ball over. He's catching and shooting
He's
now.
leading the league in assists.
He heard
This is
you
crazy.
talk about him.
Sacrificing his body. Like he's
heard
doing
about
everything.
About him going to the clubs. He was like, I'm proving Key wrong.
Well, he's still going to the club.
I still go to the club.
Drop down.
I'm gonna
He's a
give me a
diva.
jersey retired in the rafters here too.
That's right.
Yeah.
He'll have water. He'll have water instead of that vodka. Well, we have less than a minute left. Thank you for a great football season. We'll pick up after the All-Star break, and let's go right into college basketball, and let's finish the NBA season and start spring training with the Phillies. So thank you, crew. Thank you for a great season. Thank you to the Eagles who had a great season. Thanks, Gerald, for the great editing. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you, crew. I love you.
All right, everybody.
Love y'all.
Have a
Great
good one.
That's the bottom
That's
line.
the bottom line.
Take care.
Still fly, Eagles fly.
Go Eagles. Still my Eagles.
That's right.
Bang, bang, bird gang.
That's his hurt.
Go Sixers.